Alright, welcome to a video by me. My name is AVD, and today I kind of just want to talk about something that a lot of people in the video game industry are kind of pissed about. So 2 days ago, on Tuesday, September 10th, the PlayStation 5 Pro was announced, and it looks good. But then they showed this at the end, and yeah, people were not happy about the $700 price tag, which is totally understandable. I totally understand that that is a lot of money, but also I think it's fair. So again, I just want to clarify that I do think that $700 for a system like the PS5 Pro is a lot of money. But at the same time, I also understand why it's priced that much. So let's dive into it and talk about why I truly do think that the $700 price tag is not that big of a deal. So first off, I just want to say this console is probably not for you. This console is probably not for the normal consumer. This is for the person that wants the top-notch best of the best and will spend whatever money it takes to get that. You know, these people who are buying the PlayStation 5 Pro probably already have like a beefy PC, but they are like big Sony nerds like me. I'm that person. This is catered towards someone like me. Now, am I going to get this system right away? I don't think I'm going to, because one, I don't want to shell out $700 at the moment, but I'm going to buy one at some point. I just know myself. I know I'm going to want it because I am that person who wants the best of the best. And that kind of sucks, but also it is nice having it. So at some point, I do believe that I will be buying this PlayStation 5 Pro. I just don't think I'm going to buy it on day one. There's also a rumor that GTA 6 is going to be heavily promoted with the PlayStation 5 Pro, so I'm assuming they understand that players are going to be buying GTA 6 and they're going to want the best system for it. So, PlayStation 5 Pro. I think that's a smart tactic. I understand. It's not good for the consumer, it's not good for us, but in a business aspect, I totally understand it. And again, GTA 6 is going to basically push the envelope for how close it can get to the system requirements. It's going to bend these systems to its absolute maximum power. And you're going to need something like a PS5 Pro to get that top-notch feeling of GTA 6 that you should be getting. And that's not to say that a normal PlayStation 5 can't make GTA 6 run well, because it's going to. Obviously, they are going to optimize these games to run on PlayStation 5, the current gen systems. That's just what they're going to do. But when you have a system like the PS5 Pro, it's just going to run a little bit better. I think the one thing that, well, personally me, I don't care at all, because I do have a PlayStation 5 that doesn't have a disc port, because I don't buy discs anymore. I just go digital. But I do think that for the hardcore fans, I think a lot of those people do collect games. They do collect physical media, and having a PlayStation 5 Pro and no disc tray, unless you purchase one separately, is kind of a shitty thing to do. I totally understand the complaint with that, because again, this system is probably geared towards players who are also collecting. Not everyone, obviously, but there probably are a ton of people who are collecting video games. And now you can't do that unless you buy a disc tray. So if you are someone who does collect, you know, physical media, as in video games, you are going to have to shell out another $80 just to play a disc video game, which is really just really wild to me. I don't understand why they're doing that. They should have at least come out with a PS5 Pro that has disc tray and then no disc tray. And that's how they did it with the PS5. So it is kind of shocking that they didn't do it with the PS5 Pro. Now, I will say the PlayStation 5 Pro does look like a very solid console. It has an upgraded GPU, advanced ray tracing, and then it has AI-driven upscaling. And yes, I was looking at my phone for that because I could not remember what it was. But visually, the games do look better. Not a whole lot, though. This system, when it comes out, will be the best system on the market. I already think the PlayStation 5 is the best system on the market, if you're not including computers and stuff like that. But I believe that this system is well worth the $700. And here's another reason why. Now, again, I do want to say $700 or $780 if you're getting a disc drive is a lot of money. It's a lot, I know. But here's the thing. As consumers, we need to realize and understand that games cannot visually get better, perform better, or just all around be better unless we shell out a little bit more money. And that really does suck, but it's the truth. And me saying that by no means that I agree with these rising prices. I don't. They suck. They're terrible. Everything is extremely expensive, and it's making video game players struggle because sometimes you just can't buy things because they're so damn expensive. So I am not agreeing with the rising prices of systems, video games. You know, we are at $70. Rumors are when GTA 6 comes out, the price is going to go up even more. And once one game does it, all of the other ones are going to. It's just a matter of time, and that really fucking sucks. But for some reason, it just feels like people just assume that they can get a PS5 for like $200, maybe $300, and that's pushing it for some people, and expect this amazing quality experience, which in 2000 you might be able to do that, but in 2024, sadly, that's just not the truth. We aren't getting those systems for $300 anymore because it costs way more to do these type of things. Also, don't fact check me on any of this. This is just from my understanding of the little bit of amount of research I've done on this topic. So if I'm wrong at any point, don't talk about it. Shut up. Don't talk to me. Okay? Or do. But be nice about it. I do think there's one thing that is really, really hurting Sony and PlayStation when it comes to this PS5 Pro, and that's they didn't show anything new. They didn't show any new games. All of the games that they were showing off are games that have been out for multiple years. And let's be honest, when we do a comparison of a PS5 and a PS5 Pro, you aren't visually seeing anything different. While you might be able to see little tiny details, if you're doing it over your phone, you're looking at it over your phone, you're not seeing the true comparison. It's just realistically not visually going to be there. And I absolutely hate when they do this, where they try to compare, because at the end of the day, it makes it look less good. That's bad English, but that's just the truth. When you're comparing something and you really can't see a difference, and then you slap a $700 price tag on it, it really makes people question, what is my $700 going towards when I can just buy a normal PS5 for $300, $400, maybe $500 and save $300? And while I think Sony usually does a really good job with trying to incentivize getting a new system, I think they've really lacked this year with this console generation. I don't think they've really done anything to push people to buy a new system. And while that can be nice, I also think it's hurting video games, because video games are still having to port video games to PS4s and Xbox Ones. And those systems are old. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, in 2024, we should still not be playing on a PS4 and an Xbox One. I just don't believe that should be happening. And I understand there are people that just literally cannot afford it. So I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, because at the end of the day, these things are expensive for a lot of people. So I totally understand if you can't afford this type of thing, but you could easily get something like a PS5 for $300-$400 now. So if that's not difficult, I don't know why you would still be on an old console. Again, if you can't afford it, totally understandable. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but at the end of the day, trying to port all of these video games to old consoles, new consoles, PCs, it takes a lot of work, which is also causing the price of things to go up. So wrapping everything up, at the end of the day, I do think that the PS5 Pro is a little overpriced, but if you're pushing it towards the right market, the right demographic of people, aka someone like me who is a diehard Sony person who wants the best of the best, I think $700 for this console is a really good price. But again, for a normal consumer, it's definitely overpriced. And I know that probably doesn't sound like it makes any sense, and I hope it does, because in my brain it does, but maybe it doesn't when it's coming out of my face hole. But I think for some people it's going to be perfectly priced. For others, it's not going to be priced well at all. And totally understandable. Everyone is in their own type of world when it comes to money and finances. And again, I don't know if I'm going to be buying this system on day one. I did the PS5. I did the PS4 Pro. I just don't know if I'm going to right now, because I have been more focused on just saving money and being better with it. And again, $700 is a hefty price for a system that I already kind of have. But hey, you can friggin' trade your PS5 in to GameStop for $350, so you can essentially get a PS5 Pro for $350. I think I did that math correctly. And realistically, no one's making you buy this. So if you are someone who thinks it's overpriced, totally understandable. You don't have to buy it. That's the beautiful thing about this world. We don't have to buy things if we don't want to. At least some things. We need food and water and things like that. But like a PlayStation 5 Pro, you don't need it. If you think it's overpriced, don't buy it. And for the people who think it's fine and they're happy to spend the $700, buy it. That's for you then. That's it. All right. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I don't know. I like venting. I like just spewing words out of my hole right here. All right. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.